Welcome back, everybody. It's been a little bit of time since I've done one of these videos. I canceled my subscription with ClubTech, and then my computer broke. My Dell computer. I only had it for like 4 years, but it's like, I usually get a new computer every 4 or 5 years anyway. So I bought a new one, and as soon as my new one arrived, after fighting with my old one for like 3 weeks, my old one works just fine. So I got a brand new Dell G3. It's like super fast, 6-core, 4.1 gigahertz processor with like the 6 gig video card in it. Now I'm getting used to the new editing software that I got. And I would like to welcome Smark609. I think you are the 17th person to subscribe to this channel. And for those of you who are watching it that aren't subscribed, if you subscribe, I promise that on my next video I will mention your name. I didn't say I'd be nice about it or anything, but I'll mention you. Maybe I might, if you leave a comment, I might call you a jerk or even worse. But thank you, Smark609, for being the latest subscriber. So this is I switched over to Shit Hits the Fan, the SHTF boxes. This one is from April, and like I said, like I fought with my other computer for like 3 weeks. And it would kind of work, kind of wouldn't. So I spent most of my free time goofing with that instead of doing these. Meanwhile, April, SHTF showed up, and May showed up. So if you see me wearing the same shirt and the same hat, that actually came in April's. That's why. So anyway, and you know what? Everything happens for a reason. Now I'm glad it did, because I had a conversation with a guy who was like, well, it's not about price, it's about value. And I thought, well, yeah, that's an interesting concept, because I used to go through and like price all these out online and say, oh, well, you know, but you know, it's more about value. What's it worth to you? So I'm going to put a picture right here. Hopefully I'm out of the way, right here, of what this card in front of me says, what's in the box, the basic box, the pro box, the elite box, and then you decide if it's of that value to you. I think that's a better way to do it. It's like, who cares what retail is or whatever? It's like, what's it worth it to you? I have the elite box, which includes everything, and I paid for it all up front. It was, you know, a little bit over $1,100 for the year. So I'm going to say $100. Is this box worth $100 to me? Now, the basic box. The first thing is going to be the jumbo green light stick, which, you know, I love stuff like this. It's like it's a ridiculous 15-inch. You'll probably, you know, it's a good thing that they're only used once and throw away, because you're probably only going to ever use it once. It'll probably be on a camping trip, which would be awesome. You know, you'll all be sitting around a fire and just be like, yo, check this out. Crack, shake it. It reminds me of when I was in the Marines, and we were in a boat company. And, well, actually, I have 2 funny glow stick stories. Sometimes the new guys would grab IR chem light, which is infrared, and they would crack them and shake them, and they're like, oh, this one doesn't work, and then they'd throw them down. Because the infrared ones came in a very, very similar package as the blue ones. So they thought that they were cracking open a blue one, but it was really an infrared one. So, what we used to do to the new guys on the other squads, before we would go out, and we used to have, you know, squad-on-squad skirmishes and in patrols and everything like that. And so what we would do is we'd give the new guys these infrared chem lights, because we had little chem light holders that you can, you know, you crack that chem light, you put it in there, and then you could just barely open it so that you could see things. Well, we give them to the new guys, and what they would do is they would crack these chem lights open and shake them, and they couldn't see any light. so they just throw them down, which you're not supposed to do. You're never ever supposed to leave any trash anywhere. So they would crack the chem lights, these infrared chem lights, and throw them down, and then we'd wait until it got really dark, and then we'd put on our. We had a couple different night vision goggles. I think at the time it was the PVS-4s that we were using. They mounted to your rifle, and they actually, so we would use those, and you could see their position from like a mile away, because they cracked these things open and they threw it on the ground, and everybody knew you weren't supposed to litter. You're not supposed to, even though we're just on Camp Pendleton, you're not supposed to litter. So. Anyway, and that's what we also used to, whenever we would do our beach landings, we used to use the infrared chem lights when we land on the Zodiacs. Us scout swimmers, we'd swim in first and, mark the landing zone with infrared chem lights on either side, so that, the guys coming in with their NVGs on could see, where to land. But, and then there was a new lieutenant who one of the PFCs got him good, because when you're on the boat for safety reasons, when you're on the Zodiacs, whenever you're doing trainings, everybody has to have a chem light attached to their gear in case you fall off the boat, that we can see you easily. So everybody cracks theirs, and they tie them up on on our deuce gear, our 782 gear, and this one lieutenant is just shaking his chem light and shaking it, and he's like, because he was opening it while all of us were cracking ours, and he didn't see us crack ours, and so one of the little PFCs tells this new lieutenant, "Hey sir, you got to shake it really, really fast." So this lieutenant is just shaking this chem light with all of his might. And then finally he goes, "Oh, wait a minute, sir, here, let me help you." And then he just grabs his hand in the chem light and goes, and then shakes it, and it lights right up. But, yeah. So, anyway, chem lights are fun. The next thing on the list is $10. The second protects the first hat. That's the one I'm wearing right now. It says, "Don't tread on me." You can see it's off-centered, so it's made in China. Whenever anything is like, oh, it's just over here off to the side, that's fine. And it's got the little, the "Don't tread on me" snake. I don't care what its name is. I know its name, like the Garibaldi, something. It sounds something like chocolate. The Garibaldi chocolate snake. But, so anyway, second protects first. Yeah. $10. I don't know. I have it on now. I've been wearing it for about half an hour or so, and my forehead feels a little bit itchy. So, next is the 5-pack of the can openers, the P38s. You know what? These things are great. They work really well. I had a can that I was going to open up, just to show you how quickly they work. It's funny because if you look online, maybe you know what? Now that I got my new software, I think I'm going to put in the clip of these college kids trying to figure out how to use a regular can opener. The ones where you crimp down and you just turn the handle, ding, 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 and they all sit around for 15 minutes and can't figure it out. But so I wonder how long it would take them to figure out how to work one of these. So if you can see how long it takes these kids nowadays, they can't even figure out how to use a regular hand can opener. Look at this. Look at how easy this is. Take this, and there's a little tiny hook right here. You hook this underneath, and then you're just ding, 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 ding. And I'm not a big or strong guy by any stretch of the imagination. And these things just whip right through these cans. I mean, yeah, I don't understand. I mean, they're great. Put one in each bug out bag. Shoot, I wouldn't keep one on your keychain because it'll probably get taken if you ever like go to the airport. And plus, like honestly, like how often have you ever just been at a party and was like, oh, what if I only had a can opener? Yeah. So I mean, as far as like in a camping backpack, whatever, they're light, they're easy to use, and they take, I don't know, like 0 time to open anything. I mean, and that's. Yeah, it's pretty good. Look, I didn't put my hands or anything like that. Like I said, I'm not a big tough guy, big strong guy. So, anyway, it took me less time to do that than it did for these college kids to use a conventional can opener. So, anyway, nice, 5 of them. So that gives you 1 for your bug out bag, 1 for your best friend's bug out bag, and then 3 backups, and 1 for your girlfriend, and then 1 for your wife, and 1 for your other girlfriend. So, if anything goes crazy, you got it covered. So the next thing on the box is, or next thing in the box, I should say, is, the Rapture Machete. So, machetes are always awesome, but they're always just so cumbersome. Alright, so what do we got here? Oh, silica gel things. Save these things, use them. Put them, stuff that you need that you want to keep dry. Don't eat them. Alright, so you got this big ass machete. So if you ever want to intimidate, that's actually not too bad. That's, as far as machetes go, that's pretty damn sharp. And it's solid on the bottom. So yeah, the sheath leaves a little bit to be desired. I mean, it's stiff nylon and plastic, but plastic coated. You can tell it's plastic coated, but hey, you know what? Guarantee you, if you're ever going to use a machete, I mean, if you whack on something with this, it's the handle's a little bit loose. Yeah, it's the actual handle that's loose. Ding, ding, ding. But hey, for like I said, I'm not going to go into prices because the value is what's important. Bottom line is, this box costs you $20 a month plus shipping. So are all of these items that I'm pulling right now worth $20? Hell yeah. So far. So let me put that back. I guarantee you take this on throw it on your regular. It's not too heavy. It's a little front heavy, but hey, as far as machetes go, I like it. All right, so here's your Black Legion assisted opening military fighter, which maybe my fingers aren't strong enough. Oh, I almost had it on that one. Yay! I got it to open. So, anyway, who cares? So honestly, you don't open it like that anyway. I'm like, oh, well, that almost did open. But normally when you open them, you give them a little bit of a flick anyway. So, it's fine. It's got the serrations at the bottom, and it's got the super pointy ones. So if you want to saw something, you have to be very gentle, because otherwise it's gonna stick, and then you're gonna have to try to power through it. Jibbing on the back, I don't get it in this either. And then it looks like a cord cutter right there. No, it's not a cord cutter. It doesn't do anything. But that is very sharp. That is actually, it's a pretty good sharp knife. Okay. And it's got the deep carry pocket clip, which is not reversible or changeable. Oh, and then they do have the little cord cutter thing down here on the bottom. But I don't know. I don't have any cord on me, so I'm not even gonna worry about it. Anyway, what do you expect? What do they put on here? $8. Whatever. It's got the little glass smasher thing right here. So it's a little heavy. And for $8, it's like my EDC is like this little Gerber folder. You know, yeah, this one for like $10, $10 or $12. A lot lighter, a lot sharper. If I wanted to smash a window with it, I could, or a rock, or whatever. But you know, that's a thing. It's a knife. You know, knives are always useful. Maybe somebody, if shit does hit the fan, maybe somebody in your party doesn't have a knife. You say, hey, here's a knife. I'd rather carry around a heavy knife than have no knife at all. You know, so every knife that you get is a good knife. You know, if shit hits the fan. And then the last one is the Trailblazer folding pocket stove. I wouldn't use this to cook on, but what I would use are these little tablets to actually start a fire, because they actually start up very quickly, and it's like, why would you waste something that starts so easily on just, I don't know, warming up or boiling a small thing of water. It's like, when these can be used for so much more. Like, these are way more valuable than this thing. Like, you can use these to start a fire that would melt this in a heartbeat. But, you know, they're cute little things. If you want to play around in the backyard with your kids and be like, hey, you know, let's, you know, find a little open spot of dirt and say, hey, you know, let's put one of these things in here and, you know, let's see if we can make some ramen noodles. Then fine. Otherwise, just use the fuel tablets to actually start a fire. So that's it. So for $20 a month, you get the hat, the machete, the little folding stove thing, the glow stick, the 15-inch glow stick, which is hilarious. I love it. The Black Legion knife. And the 5-pack of candle butters. Oh, and so, you know, hey, you know what, for $20 a month, yeah, I think if I had just had the $20, well, plus you pay for shipping. I don't know how much shipping is on the $20 thing, but, you know, if it's like, I don't know, $10, that's kind of pushing it. But there's also the fun in just getting it. You know, if it's $20 a month plus $10 shipping, you know, hey, that's one. Like, this machete is, hey, you go down Harbor Freight or whatever, they have these things, you know, all day long for $15, $20. So, you know, I don't know. There's that. So now we're on to the Pro Box. So, for $10, well, and like I said, I'm trying to keep away from prices because it's more about value than price. I'm trying to get away from the price thing and go more on value. And just be like, okay. So they give you this little survival guide, which is all of 22 pages. And it's got some, you know, some donor compatibility tables in it for, like, blood donors. I don't know, maybe you're out there and, like, I know my blood type is A positive. So if somebody else is like, well, I'm A positive. Okay, well, let me see if I can give you blood. Yes, I can. Or, you know, I'm A positive and somebody else says, hey, you know what? I'm AB negative. Nope, we're not compatible. I can't give you blood. You can't give me blood. So, you know, that's kind of cool. Because when I was in the Marines, I remember when we went through this in our combat first aid courses, we were going through, like, how to do, you know, blood transfusions out in the field. And, like, something like that, I guess. Yeah, if the shit hits the fan, I guess, yeah. And you don't have, like, a medic around, or, you know, you can't yell for Doc. But then again, the chances are you're going to be out there with people who don't know their own blood type. Most people don't even know their own social security number. So it's like, how the hell are they going to know their own blood type? It goes over basic first aid stuff, like how to recognize symptoms of heat stroke, heat exhaustion, heat cramps, snake bites, hypothermia, how to hunt small game, which I think is going to tie into our next little thing. Actually, no, it's going to tie into the Elite Box, but little stuff like this. And, well, you know what the good thing is? Like, it's small. You can throw it in a pack, whatever. Read it whenever you're hiking around and have a little downtime. I'm going to read something. The next thing in the Pro Box is a little blowgun. The blowgun is funny. It's not practical for hunting game or anything like that. But here's the thing. You know what? Sometimes, you know, if the shit does hit the fan, sometimes you're just going to need like something that you could take your mind off of everything. So something where you could be like, hey, you know, let's play a game. Let's look, we have 3 different colored darts here. We have green, red, and yellow. Let's put them together and let's, you know, set up a piece of cardboard, and then we'll, you know, take turns just, you know, something's, you know, sometimes you have to remember that, you know, you can't just be in condition red the entire time. You really have to kind of, just for your own mental sanity, if everything goes wrong, just, you need something which is why I love playing cards. You know, I love it when they put playing cards in, because, you know, playing cards is like, it's a momentary escape from anything. Even when you're just camping. Sometimes even just the stress of just camping. You know, after like the second day, you know, or the third night, and you're like, oh, we're going home tomorrow. People start getting on each other's nerves. Everybody's kind of a little bit dirty. Doesn't really feel good. You know, sometimes just, you know, have a couple beers, play a game of cards, you know, kind of just like brings the mood back down. So, cute. Not practical, real world situation. Alright, and the next thing in the Pro Box is a Trailblazer Mosquito Head Net. You know what, honestly, think about mosquito head nets. Okay, so let's say that they work 100%. You know where the mosquitoes aren't going to bite you if they don't bite you in your face? Your hands, arms, neck, stomach. They will crawl inside your boots. I've had mosquito bites, you know, even in the Marines we blouse our boots with boot bands. And I've had mosquito bites inside my sock on my ankle. So the mosquito went through the blousing of my trousers, up past the boot band, down through my combat boots that I used to lace up so tight that made the top of my shins this big when my ankles were like this big. So it went through all that, crawled down through my OD green cushion sole sock, military issue size large, and bit me on the ankle. So this actually this is better. They should have called this a water strainer. This would be really good for like filtering water. Like you take something like this in a can that actually has a bottom in it. You put this over the top like that, and you can filter out the larger sediments, and then you maybe tie a t-shirt to the bottom, so then you get out the larger stuff, and then the smaller stuff can strain through the t-shirt or whatever. Or I don't know. you can use this as a bag. Then you can put stuff in here. Because it's actually, it feels pretty sturdy. You know, maybe you can, you know, put some stuff in here, hang it from a tree. I don't know. I honestly don't know what you would do with this. I'm gonna put it here with the blowgun. Okay, so the one good thing, in the Pro box is the waterproof poncho. So it comes in its own zipper case, and in the Marine Corps, like a lot of times when we went out to the field, all you would take with you is a poncho and a poncho liner, and then that would be your sleeping bag, or what we would call a ranger roll. You know, you take your poncho liner, which is basically, I don't know, like maybe you know, it's like a 1/4 inch thick, like basically like a quilt. And most of the time, actually, when we slept on our racks, that's all we would cover up with at night, because, you know, most of the time we were either at Camp Pendleton or Okinawa. So it's like, you know, most of the time you don't get under those wool blankets. You know, all you do is you sleep on top, throw your poncho liner over you, and then in the morning you just kind of do a couple tucks, make sure your, you know, hospital corners are all still on their 45s and perfect, and then bam, you're out the door. But no, these things are great for shelters. I think the most awesome thing I've ever seen is when we were in Okinawa, one of our lieutenants, when we were doing boat ops, and we were camped out on the beach, the rest of us are sleeping on the grass. He found 2 trees and hung up his hammock between the 2 trees, and then ran some 550 cord across the top, connected to 2 bungee cords so it stayed nice and tight, and then threw his poncho over the top of that and staked in 4 bungee cords on the corner. So he had like this, it wasn't even a lean-to. It was like his hammock was here, and then he had his the one 550 cord that went across, bungee cords, and then bungee corded this thing across the top to keep the water off of him. I was like, oh my god, that is genius. So anyway, but yeah, these are actually, this is thicker than the ponchos that we had. The ones that we had also were camo, and this is OD green, and the ones we had, I don't know how sturdy these buttons are going to be. The ones that we had the big thick buttons on them, where you would actually, like, after they rusted, you would rip the poncho apart before the buttons would let go. So I don't know, so maybe these are better, but also the grommets were bigger too. Like with these little tiny grommets, like I said, like that lieutenant that, you know, used the bungee cords to keep it down, like I don't think you're getting a bungee cord through that. You know, like our grommets were like that big. But you know, anyway, you can take like a small maybe a small D-ring or something, and then put it through. But no ponchos. Oh, yeah, no, this is completely different. Yeah, this one's got Velcro and a little zipper. I don't know. Anyway, ponchos are always awesome. So now, the Pro Box, they will charge you $50 a month plus shipping. So now for the Pro Box, you get all of that stuff. I don't know. You know, for the extra $30, I don't think... For a poncho, a blowgun, a survival guide, and the head net, I don't think this is worth $30. More. I'm just saying, if you were going to go with the basic box, then that's good. You definitely got a good value. If you just went with the Pro box, I think that's probably not a good deal. Yeah. I don't think for $50 a month, I don't think for $30 more that this net and a little blowgun and a pamphlet and a poncho, that's worth it. So if you just bought the Pro Box this month, I'm sorry. That kind of sucks. But I don't think anybody buys just the Pro Box. I think either you get like the basic box or you get like the Elite box, because you're just like, you're like, either I want I just want a little bit every month because it's cool, or I just want the whole big Mamba thing. So anyway, so now the Elite box, which is $90 a month plus shipping, so it includes everything here, and then it comes with a Figure 4 Deadfall kit, which is it's kind of cool. It reminds me of when I was in the Cub Scouts, and we used to build stuff like this. And I remember when we went to Bridgeport, and I wish I could find that. I have this, like, it's got to be like 100-page pamphlet thing that they gave us up at Bridgeport, Northern California, when we did our cold weather training up there. And it was all about, like, cold weather survival, basically all the stuff that they give the guys in the SEER school. Because SEER school, they conduct SEER school at the exact same place. And at the time, there were guys going through the SEER program. And we were up there doing cross-country skiing and shooting and making snow caves. And, basically it was like a 2-month vacation. It was like a 2-month ski vacation. It was awesome. And some of our other guys, they're like, oh yeah, because they were like, oh well, who wants to go to SEER school? I think we had like 10 quotas out of our whole battalion. Our whole battalion was up there, so these 10 guys are like, I'll do it. And I actually wanted to go. I kind of wanted to, but I didn't want to. But anyway, so they picked the 10 guys from the battalion. I was not one of them that got to go to SEER school. And once I found out what they put them through, I was glad that I didn't. But no, they taught us how to do like little stuff like this, like how to catch small game and all that other good stuff. So that's kind of cool. The next thing is the SOA Vigilante Concealable Neck Knife. Concealable neck knife. Oh, it is, you know what? It is very pretty. But honestly, it's very, very pretty. And it's very well made. I mean, it's got some good weight to it, but the bad thing is, like, dude, you're not going to wear this around your neck. This is not, like, why would they call it a neck knife? Like, anybody who wears a knife around their neck is, I don't know, either a moron or begging to be choked with it. Because, what are you going to do? Here's a shoelace. Let me tie this around your neck. And then that way, I don't know, if you fall anywhere and this gets hung up on anything, then you just hang yourself. Like, maybe that's just something that you learn in the military. But, people don't... In the movies, okay, yeah, maybe you can hang this from your neck. But usually guys, like, I like that it's, like, you can move these screws around and you can hang it from your gear however you want. That's the way it should be done. It should be from your gear. But if you ever think about, anything, if you watch Saving Private Ryan, in the opening scene, that one good-looking kid who has his BAR and he jumps out and then it, like, just drags him right to the bottom. So he just starts ripping off all of his gear. And then swims to shore, and Tom Hanks asks him, he goes, hey, where's your BAR? He's like, sorry, Cap, I had to lose it, bitch was trying to drown me. That's exactly how gear is in the military. In the military, you don't want anything attached to you that you can't get rid of in a minute. And now I sound like Robert De Niro in Heat. He goes, hey, you don't want anything attached to you that you can't walk away from in 1 minute if you spot the heat coming around the corner. You know, it's like that with your gear. If you can't pop it off and get rid of it within like 2 or 3 seconds, it has no business being on you. You don't want this. Imagine this is around your neck. And you're like, hey, I got this, and then, you know, I got this concealable neck knife. And then, I don't know, let's say for whatever reason you get into a car accident, and then you go in the water. And so, you know, you take off your seatbelt, and, you know, for whatever reason, as you start to swim out, this thing wraps around your steering wheel. It just does like a little flip, you know, because as you go to jump out, it just flips around and just like sticks to the steering wheel. And then now you're panicking because your natural reaction when something's holding you down is to push back against it. It's like with horses. Horses will always try to pull back against, you know, resistance, which is why we always tell people, hey, your horse isn't doing what you want it to do. Calm down, let it relax, and then barely pull again, and they'll follow you. But see, when you're in a panic, this thing wraps around something, and you're trying to get out. Guess what? This thing is going to drag you to the bottom of the ocean or bottom of the river. You ain't never getting out. You don't want to ever put anything around your neck that can't break or come loose. Okay, anyway. So, bottom line, no neck knives, but it is awesome for, you can flip it any way you want and carry it this way, carry it this way, carry it this way, carry it this way on your gear, belts, inside, outside, you know, so it is very nice. But don't put a knife around your neck. It's freaking stupid. Or worst case scenario, if you're, you know, what if you're doing something and this thing is underneath your shirt and it comes out of the case for whatever reason, falls inside your shirt, and then when you fall down, you know, you're carrying it like this in your shirt. Falls down, and then, well, where's it pointed? It's pointing right underneath your rib cage, because as soon as it stops at your belt line, you're going to hang up on your belt. You lean over, great, you just impaled yourself on your own knife. So, enough of that. And then, there's the grappling hook with cord. Grappling hook with paracord. It's kind of cool. I love it when they give you paracord. You can always use paracord. And it comes with instructions on how to use it. You know, all the different things that you can do. Shows you how it works. Basically, basically, you take these 3 hooks, like that. I don't know. I think they only go one way. You know, you line up the 3 holes, you put the cord through, tie a couple knots, and then you can throw this to, like, well, let's say, you know, I don't know, say your kite gets stuck in a tree. You know, like, you can throw this up there, grab the branch, cool it down, shake it. I'm just kidding. But now, if you wanted to set a trap, you know, it's like a spring-loaded trap. If you're ever out there, you know, you can throw this up, pull the tree down, you know, grab a hold of it, you know, set it into your snare so that whenever the snare is tripped, it, you know, pulls the stuff up. They're fun little things. I mean, I don't know how many times actually we've, you know, that I've, you know, just taken some kind of weight with a cord and thrown it up over a tree just to, you know, either get the branch down and cut it and just use it for camouflage or whatever. So, anyway, that's kind of cute. So now my opinion on everything. Is all of this stuff that I got, to me, worth $100? Yeah, $100. And I say yes. I think anybody who ordered the Pro box got ripped off. I think if you ordered the basic box, you made out like a bandit. And those of us who ordered the Elite box, I think that we're like, you know, just this right here is what really puts it over the top. Even though I kind of gave it crap for being a neck knife, but just the fact that, you know, it's a good knife, it's a solid knife. You can carry it all different directions. You know, I just don't like it when people call them neck knives. It's so stupid. But no, the handles are wonderful. It's, you know, everything is great on it. So yeah, I think if you got the Elite box, you got a wonderful deal. I think if you got the basic box, you got a wonderful deal. I think if you just got the Pro box, I think you kind of got ripped off a little bit. So anyway, if you like the videos, give me a thumbs up. If you don't like them, give me a thumbs down. Either way, subscribe. Actually, you know what? If you don't like it, just drop me a comment. It's like, I don't take stuff that seriously. Just like, hey, I don't like it, it was too long. Or, hey, I don't like it, you're a douchebag. Or, hey, I don't like it, I don't believe you. You know, just give me something. You know, hey, I'm always open for criticism.